All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. We are pulling forms off of our garage wall today. Our very first wall of the house. We're gonna get our first look at it today. First, we have a couple of things to do. We're gonna take the mixer off the telehandler and put on the forks because the forks actually make it easier to pull the forms off without it risking falling on my head or something like that. But yeah, so we're gonna do that real quick and then we'll get to see what our walls are gonna look like. I'm really excited about this and I hope you are too. Wow, that's why you don't release the tension early. It literally went boing. It opened up and like a 1/4 inch gap is now between the frame and the rammed earth. First look at our wall. Here we go. Get that side. Oh, it's so good.
That is awesome.
I like those browns. Yep. All right, I need the ladder. I'm gonna pull this top one off, and then we'll get that center one off.
Look at it. So what's next?
Next, we're gonna pull this end cap off. Then we'll do this last one this way, and then we'll start pulling the ones off the back.
Woohoo!
I know. It's looking good. It's looking really good.
I love the way the colors turned out.
Yeah, they're brighter than I thought they would be.
You can already see as they're starting to dry out on the surface though, they're
Dulling.
dulling. Look at that marbling effect. My goodness, I love this stuff. And then you can see right here, where this rebar is, this is where the wall obviously will come out for the edge of the garage. So that funny little blip right there is where the foam is going to attach.
Yeah, we'll actually knock this out. See, there's foam. Yeah, that's just where the foam's slightly separated from the wall. And so rammed earth got in between there, but we'll knock it all out, clean it out, and butt the other foam right up against it.
What do you think, love?
I think it's gorgeous.
I do too.
This is going to be our garage. This is what you're going to pull in and see. How cool is that, huh? There, see, now it's starting to come loose. Go down. Yeah, we'll unscrew that one. But now I'm not worried about this one coming loose.
Yeah, because if it falls,
It's not going to go far. All right, now we can take the big one.
Look at how pretty our wall is. So pretty.
That was a slight concern of mine as to whether or not these would come off.
Well, I'm glad that your concern has been allayed.
Yeah, then we just take a scraper.
Oh wow, that's actually coming off
pretty easily. All right, so now we will pull our window spacer out. Hopefully not hit myself in the head with any of it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the gap where it filled into the 2x4. So we'll just patch that and you'll never see it because it'll be covered, but that's each hole in the steel stud does that. So I think we may just have to cover those holes, maybe put in a screw with a plate over it, get some small plates. But all that'll be covered anyway, so I'm not too stressed about it.
What's going on with the top of it?
The outside wall is bigger than the inside because the roof actually has to attach to the inside part of the wall, kind of.
The reason we did that, and the foam is sticking up, is basically our rafters will set on that inner wall up to the top of the foam, and then we'll set the aircrete on top of the rafters, and then fill dirt on top of the aircrete to the top of the very top of the wall. The plan is for this roof to do aircrete, which is foam infused cement, and then when it hardens, it is almost like foam, but it's rigid like concrete. And if you run rebar or some kind of stabilizer through it, it actually, the compression strength is very, very high. Not quite as high as concrete, obviously, but the rafters are going to be supporting most of the weight. So the aircrete is very, very lightweight concrete panels, essentially. And that's what we're going to build the roof out of. And then we're going to lay a pond liner on top of the aircrete, and then do a living roof on top of that. And this is the top of this roof is going to be essentially an herb garden. A living roof will provide insulation value. It will keep the garage nice and cool, as well as it will not create a reflective surface to increase heat in the area. So yeah, for those of you who are having trouble seeing it before, basically this is the width of the window flange right here. So the window flange will butt right up against this. We'll screw into that, and then we'll just either patch that with fill, concrete patch, or we can just cover it with a facade. And then the foam will actually butt right up against the window, so that way there's no thermal gaps, or at least you minimize the thermal gaps. But yeah, that's how it's gonna work. Look, you can see the tape line though. Look, right here. Remember I said you would see it?
We ended up having to tape the corner because there was just a tiny gap there.
Well, and had we not taped that, look over here. Had we not taped that, this is what it would have done, which again, isn't a huge issue. It's not a structural issue, it's just a cosmetic issue. But because it's on the inside and it's right up against the window, we taped it just to see what would happen. And it held up great, so now we don't have this rough edge.
Yeah. And this, what happened back here, do you know?
Where? Right here?
Yeah.
Did
it just not get tamped as well?
Yeah, that's what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, we're actually going to modify our tamper.
Yeah, so it'll be right up against the sides. Well, and these are the harder lifts to do because of the foam.
Yeah.
Remember? So it'll be all right.
No, it's
But
fine.
again, it's all stuff. So we could go through, we could come back through and patch all of this if it really bothered us. You can basically match the color and patch it and make it look all pretty and perfect and stuff like that. But honestly, one of the things we like about rammed earth is the imperfections and the earthy feel of it. And so we're just going to leave them, probably.
And it won't degrade. It's
not going to degrade or get any worse than that. It'll stop. Basically, it'll flake off for probably the next couple of weeks while it finishes curing. Once it's done curing, it won't have any issues. Wow, it's gorgeous, though.
It is
Absolutely
so
gorgeous.
pretty. And look at it with the beautiful blue sky.
There's a scorpion on the wall. It's so cool.
No, 3 of your walls are going to be rammed earth
Yay!
in your room.
Imagine how pretty they'll be.
Look at all the variation.
I know, I love it. You did a good job with the color. I
Thanks.
really like it.
I like that middle stripe. It's really pretty.
The white one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no color in that one.
That one's really pretty.
It's just whatever's left over.
Yeah,
from
I
the
love
bucket
these
or the
little
form.
swirls and stuff.
yeah.
So what that's from is I poured it in And then I went over it again and poured it. And then I moved some of it to even it out because otherwise you would get really wild humps. So I moved it, but when I do that, the color settles up against the edge.
It's pretty.
It's so pretty. And look, these lines are so small. I mean, we have less than like maybe a 1/16 of an inch variation. Those are our form lines.
So that's where the two forms came together.
Yeah.
You can see it.
You can see our screw holes too. Look, the screw holes right there. But we can actually take a stone, just a flat stone, drag it across it, and it'll take a lot of that stuff out.
What happened down there? Because that wasn't a cold joint.
Probably just the tamping wasn't as good. That's probably all it was. We just didn't tamp as well. I mean, you can see the importance of tamping really well. Yeah, especially like right here. See how that's just softer material? But, I mean, like I said, it's all part of the variation of rammed earth.
Well, and the thing is, we're getting such good strengths that...
Well, and all that strength testing was done without the admixture, which does add strength. So, all right, guys, our first wall is completely finished, and we are quite pleased with the results. All right, thanks for joining our adventure.